Hello, gorgeous. So this is me without any makeup on, but tons of moisturizer. I'm not broken out really. These red marks that you see here are actually from a bit of a burn. The day before I had accidentally put on a little bit too much benzoyl peroxide and I guess I burnt my skin. Oops. Oh well, the show must go on though, right? Anyway, time to get the skin to look as flawless as possible. Hopefully this won't be too challenging. P.S. The choker that I'm wearing is called the Monroe. It's from my line Who is Kyle Moon. I'll put a link to that down below. Probably one of my favorite pieces right now. But anyway, let's get some concealer on this situation. I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla up under my eyes, mainly to just cover up some dark circles. And then I'm putting on more across the tops of my cheekbones, all the way back towards the temples before patting that in with this. It's like the Tarte version of a beauty blender. It's kind of a weird shape. I'm just playing around with this. I haven't really formed a complete opinion on it just yet, but so far so good. Not sure if I like it better than the beauty blender, but anyway. This Lancome foundation stick, I'm running out of it, but I love how blendable it is and the coverage is really nice. I need to get another one because it's going to be gone soon. It just didn't take too much work for those bright red burn marks to be covered up, so it shows that it does have really nice coverage to it. So this is a bit more of a transformation look. I just looked at a lot of photos and paid attention to where the light naturally hits on Bella's face, so I can tell like where the high points of her face are, and I just placed lighter shades in like similar areas on my face just to get like kind of the same-ish effect. She has really lovely bone structure in my opinion. I just think she's stunning, and I really love her simple minimal look, so I was really excited to do this. Honestly, a lot of the products that I'm using in this look, minus like the more dramatic contouring I'm gonna do, is pretty similar to what I wear on an everyday basis in like real life. Not that this isn't real life, but you know what I mean, like in my day-to-day, like not YouTube life. So I'm starting with a cream contour from this contour palette from Makeup Forever. I'm just going to apply that to the hollows of the cheeks, but I'm bringing it kind of forward towards the center of my cheek area. I typically don't bring my own contour in this far, just because my natural bone structure doesn't really have hollows there, but I'm just trying to mimic Bella's bone structure. So I'm just creating the illusion of shadowing being there on myself. Really, the whole thing when it comes to doing like a transformation is just looking at a lot of pictures of her and then myself in the mirror and seeing where I need to add more shadows and where I need to add more light. And that's really how you create illusions and magic with makeup, is really just all like smoke and mirrors, shading and lighting. The nose contour is probably one of the most important things, I think, when you're trying to recreate Bella's look as a transformation. I'm pretty much more than certain that Bella has had a nose job, and I personally think it was one of the best in the business. Her nose now is very, very defined. I think she looked beautiful before as well, but I just think this really did this nose suits her very nicely. So I spent a bit of time contouring my nose to make it look a bit more narrow and make the tip look more defined. I started with cream, but eventually that blends out into nothing, so I used powder over the top of that. The cream did give me a little bit of a guide though, I will say that. Next, the brows. Hers are on the straighter side. There's barely any arch to them really, and they're very natural looking. So the key here was for me to make sure that mine didn't look too filled in or too dark. I started with the Anastasia Dip Brow in Taupe to kind of fix up the tails of my brows where I really don't have very much hair at all. This was just to kind of lay down a little bit of a shape, and then I took a really skinny thin brush and I used the shade Chocolate just to draw in some more hair-like strokes. That's one of my tricks, is if you use two different shades on your brows, you're going to get a much more natural effect. Mainly I filled in towards the ends of my brows because the front of her brows don't really look like they're very filled in ever. So moving on to the eyes. Yes, I'm wearing blue contact lenses. Bella's eyes are kind of on the blue-green side. And this is pretty much the closest I had on hand to her eye color. So I'm basically smoothing on a taupe cream shadow. This one is from Maybelline. I'm just blending that on all over the lid up to the hollows of the eyes. And I'm using a cream mainly because I don't usually see Bella wearing a lot of eyeshadow usually. I'm pulling the shadow out and kind of curving it up around the brow bone, which I know is strange, but from what I can see in photos, that's kind of the natural shadowing of her own eye area. So I'm basically just contouring around the eye and temple area too. Just, one thing is kind of leading to another here, but that's kind of how makeup and contouring and shading and all that stuff goes. I then realized that Bella doesn't have a beauty mark above her brow, and I attempted to cover mine up, but I didn't have the concealer that I would normally use to do something like this. It's one from Anastasia that was like really great, but I didn't have that nearby, so I was like, whatever, I'll just Photoshop it out later. But just so you know, if you have a really good concealer, you can pretty much cover anything. I'm also creating a slight widow's peak too at the hairline. Hers isn't very dramatic at all, thank God, because my small forehead can only handle so much. I've actually plucked my hairline to get it to this height, just a few rows of hair, but it's made such a difference. I mean, that's a whole other video though. If you want to see that, just click the thumbs up button, let me know in the comments, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so back to finishing the eyes. I'm applying a black eyeliner pencil really close to the lash line and blending it out with a clean pencil brush just for a softer effect. That's what I really love about Bella's look. It's just very effortless. It's not like not too thought out, you know what I mean? It just like, it shows that you don't need piles and piles of makeup to look beautiful, just a little bit to enhance whatever you've already got. This is much more of a transformation look. Obviously, if I was just doing her makeup style, I would not be using as much contouring and highlighting on myself, but you get the idea. So I'm bumping up the contour on my cheeks with a powder product. I'm using the Lorac contour palette for this. I'll list everything that I used in the description box down below for you, so you can have a peek at that just in case you're curious or looking for something good to try. Of course, I'm applying highlighter. I finally got the one that I wanted from Estee Lauder, the Victoria Beckham collection, and I'm obsessed with it. It's really pricey, but I do really like it. A good dupe for this would be the Anastasia So Hollywood Illuminator. Okay, so I've seen a lot of photos of her with glossy lips. Some of the glosses usually have shimmer, so that's what I'm basically doing here. I'm just using this new lip gloss from Lancome in Magnetic Mauve, and I really like this one. It's in my purse a lot lately. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully found some tips that you can try on yourself and see how you like them. Obviously, I don't expect anyone to turn themselves into another human, but sometimes understanding how to use shade and light to look like someone else can help you just kind of achieve just about any look you want or effect you want on yourself. So again, use makeup to enhance what's already there, but if you want to invent stuff, girl, I'm not going to stop you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and as always, I look forward to talking to you again very soon. Thanks for watching.